Since the dawn of time, education has always existed for learning and growing, so people could contribute to nation building and the progress of mankind. In the first schools of the Han Dynasty, students were taught how to be a gentleman. They learned moral values like generosity, fairness, and integrity. These gentlemen were then elected as ministers and scholars to carry out cultural traditions and set rules of society for others. In ancient schools, small groups of students were allocated to a teacher. As a result, they could work with each student until they were satisfied with progress before moving on. Moving along the timeline, a man named William Farish invented grading. He felt that grading could increase his class size and yet still assess how each child was coping. Soon, grades became a guideline to a student's progress and achievements. With grades, more students can be processed in a shorter time. Fast forward 200 years. Grading has become the foundation to almost all education systems in modern societies. Grades can be a motivational push for students and also a good evaluation tool for teachers. But the concept of grades seems to have taken precedence over and above everything else. Singapore's education system is a classic case where grades have elevated above everything. Here, in this small little cosmopolitan city, getting an A in school is the one and only measurement of academic success. This is the motto that tiger mums like Madame Zhu hold close to their hearts.
Alexa， 把那个数学考卷拿出来给妈咪看一下。快点进去。哇，重吧，不甘愿呐。哇，考到这么烂呐，才考80多分呐。你看，你看，你连 hundred 都会 spell 错，考到这么烂，我跟你讲，没有的电视可以看，也没有电脑可以玩。我会买很多考卷跟练习本给你做。这次他的数学考试考得非常的不好，我很生气，犯了很多不应该犯的错误。他下次考试应该是10月的最后一个星期，我希望他能够考到95分以上。我会定一个时间表，让他时间比较有规划，说不会浪费时间。After tuition 回来继续做那个学校的功课，然后呢6点到7点就给他冲凉，吃饭，就算休息了。9点到10点做 max。
You know, having a timetable is helpful because it provides structure. But if a child is forced to follow a timetable, and in addition to that, the timetable does not allow for breaks or any playtime for the child, then parents are going to have children who are very stressed out. Parents should be working on a timetable with their child rather than plan the timetable for them.
从今天开始，你跟我跟着这张时间表。
For Madame Zhu, the obsession with grades started when her son attended primary school. But for others, this fixation starts much earlier. Madame Ng firmly believes that enrolling her child Xin Hui into a good primary school will motivate her to study and attain good grades.
Having a good reputation of the school will help her to path the way to tertiary schools, and also with good environments will help us to motivate in her studies.
Look like if you're staying near the area between one click, what the chances is very high.
Yeah, and if you see the statistic for this school, it's quite good. The passing rate is quite high actually.
91.5 is very good in fact.
Yeah.
Chinese is 100. I think it's very good.
Yeah.
When registering a child to a school, those whose siblings or parents are alumni get first priority. The next in line are parents who can present a letter of reference from a church or clan association, or perform voluntary work for the school.
Currently, I'm helping out the school on the proposal to help out in one of the sport thing event. I have to work in a day. This is the only free time I can do the parent volunteer's job. Just a little bit of sleepless night, I think is worthwhile.
What I know, parents are interested in volunteer work because it does help in many cases for their child to get a place in that school. Some parents do it, I believe, also because they want to find out about the school. They get an insight into the school's environment, educationally and socially, physically.
About 40,000 children enter Primary 1 each year, and most popular schools receive up to 200 parent volunteer applications, but only 30 of these will be accepted. Volunteers are assigned to duties like organising school events. Once a child is accepted into the school of choice, parents face a whole new set of problems. How to achieve good grades.
Excuse me, my son is going to. 我通常会买那些学校的考卷啊，名校的考卷啊，或者是说朋友介绍或者书局里面那个店员介绍的那些练习本啊，买给他做。
Other than assessment books, parents will also fork out thousands a month on tuition. Since 2008, about $820 million has been spent on tuition annually. This is a clear sign of intense parental concern.
We have the inevitable things like assessments, tuition, anything extracurricular activities. It's irresistible because everybody's doing it. We must do, it's like oxygen, you have to have it. So it's very difficult for parents to say no. And it's like taking insurance. They're afraid if they don't have it, then something will happen and it's too late.
补习非常重要，因为补习老师可以教他一些学校还没有教的，那么他去学校就相对于来说比较轻松一点。我怕万一不补习的话，他成绩掉下来，再追上去就会很难，所以我要给他保持那个程度。
Tuition is seen as an investment that might pay off later, just like bigger investments parents feel are worthwhile. After all that she has done, if her child is not enrolled in the school, Madam Ng will then have to go through a balloting exercise. Residents have to stay within a 1-kilometre radius of the school in order to be considered for the balloting exercise. So, in order to prepare for the worst, Madam Ng decides to move and buy a house closer to the school.
这个就是要地图，因为我知道你要找一个名校给你女儿，所以这个主屋离这名校不远，1米而已。所以屋主现在等我们上去看。好。
附近有什么设施吗？
哦，这边不远哦，差不多走5 minutes 就有个 service 来，我带你来参观一下。这里就是这个小厅，是厨房，这里就是那3个房间，请参观。这里的风景很美，从这个角度看了就可以看到那间学校。
哦，好。对，可以看到那间学校蛮近的哦，正走过去就可以到了。
这边主人住多久了？
差不多有20年了。
20年。那屋主方面他要叫价大概多少？
这边的物价是580千，COV 是20千。
COV 20千啊
？20K COV， 你知道这笔钱多大吗？
可是这个是我们最后一个机会了，如果这不买的话就没有办法进去，而且我们只是做 parent volunteer 而已。
Nothing can compare our kids' futures in terms of the money. So this is the reason why I would like to move the house regardless of what kind of investments that we're talking about. Yes, you can say that it's a big risk, but well, in our life we have losses. So all these things we can earn it back.
So how? What's the solution?
25K COV My dear, you're talking about 25K COV and 580K HDB variation, and this sort of money you're going to be taxing on us,
But are you telling me you're not going to take this?
Why not we try something further a bit, but it's still within the 1 kilometre, right now?
No. Just now already heard the agent. This is one of the units that we can actually look into.
No, but you must understand, given the state of this house, seriously speaking, I think we need to come out around some 50 or 25K for renovation, and on top of that, COV will be coming out to estimated
all you're talking
45
is all
to
is
50.
only money.
Of course, what else? What else?
Hey, but come on. Money can still earn back, what?
Yeah lah,
and
but
then you're
it will
putting
be
your
very
girls
taxing,
into
you know.
futures into your state, is it? I don't want to miss any opportunity, let's put it.
Shall we consider a bit later or what?
No, this is the only time that I think we have to make a decision.
Okay lah.
Parents are under great pressure, even from when the child is very young. They're already mapping out what they want the child to be able to do, looking up the options in the schools. They move house to be near the school. Lots of things I believe they will do if they can help. They will certainly go to great extent, even expense. There are other things like social skills, confidence building, being able to communicate effectively, being a good command of language. I also believe at the end of the day that if a child goes to a school and is happy, he will succeed.
For parents like Madame Zhu, that success will only come after all the continuous studying that she forces on her child now.
你的 D 呢是几点？我已经跟你做了这张时间表，要求你跟着这张时间表走。你为什么不跟？马上跟我进去做功课。你现在跟我放好，不要吃，去做功课，不要吃，不要吃，不要吃的。走，进去。哎，我数到3，你要不要走？快点啦！哎，进去，来。我跟你讲，要跟着这张时间表做。 啊，现在这个时间应该是做 max，OK？、说我要求你今天 max 从48页做到56页，听见没有？如果没有做完，我跟你讲，你就不要跟我睡觉了，听见没有？没有哈不哈的，我跟你讲，我等一下再藤条就上来了。OK， 现在做。
At any given task, the maximum amount of time a child should be sitting would be around about 45 minutes, and then allowing them to take a 5 to 10 minute break and move on to another half an hour to 45-minute task.
我发现是说我给他一个15分钟，他的心就收不回来了。等一下要做，安心下来，安定下来，这个就要花半个小时甚至1个小时，他的心才定下来。
Having gone through all the tuition and study plans today, Alex is bringing back home his test paper. How will he fare this time round?
哇，数学考到95分啊，考得很好。哇，这是什么？
老师给的
啊，老师给的是什么东西啊？这是给你做什么用
？Best in Maths
哦 ，Best in Maths。只要你努力，你看你就考到好成绩，对不对啊
Looking at his results, Alex has barely fulfilled Madame Zhu's expectation. Will further improvement or even full marks truly satisfy her?
我对他的这次成绩应该算是满意。只要他不粗心仔细一点我相信他还可以拿更好的分数，能够拿到满分，那我是最高兴了。
It's a happy ending for our tiger mum, but for Madame Ng, despite all her efforts, too many parents are vying to get a place in the same school. In the end, she has to take part in the balloting exercise to fight for a place.
Welcome to balloting exercise phase 2C for the year 2013. We shall begin with the balloting now. First one.
First ball goes to number 9, Fu Ji-wing.
Second.
Ball number 2 goes to number 7, Tan Hui Ming. Third ball goes to number 2, Albert Tan Wei Ji. Sixth ball goes to number 10, Lai Xing Hui.
7.
Seventh ball goes to number 1.
Very excited and realized.
So glad that everything is coming to close.
That's what we planned.
Yes.
Fortunately for them, their investment has paid off, or has the spiral just begun? Education overall has differed greatly. In the past, It was about virtues and moral values. Today, education is totally about getting that ultimate A in class. But does academic success guarantee success in life?
At the end of the day, education takes you to the opportunity in life. And to do that, you can't just get results in exams. You have to do much more than that.
Every child is unique in his or her own way. They ought to be taught in a well-rounded, holistic environment, which only parents can provide. Ultimately, all parents want the best for their children, making sure that they can secure their successful future ahead.
有可能现在不开心，我想等他长大之后他会开心的。等到他取得了成绩然后他有成就了，他就会感谢我了。
But how much tuition is sufficient? How much investment is required? What score is high enough? And what is your view of success?